These days it's hard to say where we're at on things because we're so busy. One thing that's happening is this kid has really grown a lot. He's a lot bigger than he used to be.
Okay.
Hey everybody, welcome to another day with the Knorpps. Today's project, we've decided to change the kitchen table situation. It was just crowded, but the other table that we have, which we put over in the shop, is huge. Which is why I didn't come over here in the first place, was because we just didn't feel like we had the room for it, because this space is kind of little. So what we've decided to do is, with that table, we're actually going to cut off the ends. There's some space on the ends where it kind of hangs over the legs. It was a custom built table for us a few years ago, and we left some space on the end so that people could sit on the end. But we think that if we take that, I think it's about 1.5 feet if you take some total length, if you take some off of both ends, we think that it can fit here and not be too much owning this space. Although that's still kind of a theory, because once we get in here, we'll see. Also, this table weighs a lot. It's like 3 million pounds. I really don't like moving that table, but we just need more table space here. So that's today's project. We already moved out the other table. It's out in the van right now, so we can take it over to the shop, and then I'm going to cut off the ends of that table. And then I think we also need serious person power to get that moved. Andrew's friend is coming over, and we're going to use him and just see what we can do to get this table in here. But it's no small task moving that table. Right now it measures at 10 feet by 4 feet. Very solid table. Everything is connected. You can't really take it apart. So it's...
We're hoping you can take the top off.
The top is glued on.
You tried? No, we looked and there was space in between the top
Maybe
and the
we
leg.
can. Maybe we can remove the top. So we're gonna see. Anyways, take the drill over there and see if we can take it apart a little bit, because taking it apart into any smaller pieces is going to be helpful. So that's today's project. So I'm over here. We're going to clear this off. As you can see, it is a mess. Getting really tired of the mess over here. And it's like we're still kind of slowly shifting things around and trying to get things situated. It just takes a while, and it's hard to do because there's like no room to move stuff out of the way. It feels like to organize and make the room you need. So I feel a little tired today, not super motivated, but it would be helpful to get this out of here, and hopefully it fits over in the house okay. But just gotta do it. All right, so I got it cleared off. While I was clearing it off and looking at it, I realized that maybe it wasn't a good idea just to cut it down. So I went over to the house, measured again, and thought, I don't know, I didn't want to lose the ends. Basically, by cutting it down, we would lose the ability to sit on the ends, and that's actually a lot of seating that's gone. So Megan and I are looking at it now, and actually, hang on, turn this around. What we're realizing is that what we could do, because this table it's basically together with screws.
We thought it was glued.
We thought it was glued pretty heavily, but we've taken some screws out, and the glue is pretty light, so it's actually pretty easy to to take it apart. So by taking it apart, it allows us to actually trim down the frame.
So instead of seating 14, you could seat 10.
Right. So because what I realized is if we take the ends away and only sit on the sides, it actually only adds like one seat. And that's kind of to me, that was like a waste for all the trouble to move the table. But also though, this table's nicer than the one that's currently in that room. That was part of the reason why we're doing it. But
That's the whole reason I was.
I'm thinking from a strictly utilitarian perspective. So we can bring the two together, both beauty and function. And all we have to do is basically trim the cross beams or whatever. Decide where we're going to trim it, move the legs in, trim the top a little bit, and then put it back together. And what have you got?
Bibbidi bobbidi boo.
Bibbidi bobbidi table. So right now, just talking about how much space we would need, what that length would be, and how we would do that. And then I'll have to go over there and clear out the workshop area a little bit so I can do some of this, because this tabletop is humongo. Yeah, okay. Okay, we got everything cut. Got my cross beams cut. Now loaded up into the van. What's great, probably the best part of this whole thing is that we'll get to take it over in pieces, which is going to make it so much easier. So Andrew's actually headed this direction with some of his friends to help me, and we'll get this into the dining room and put back together. Okay, we have it initially placed here. We actually have to eat dinner, so we need a tabletop. We haven't put the supports in yet, but it's coming together pretty well. Had a couple screws that got stripped out and didn't quite cinch up. So anyways, it's there. It takes up a little more of the space, but the hope is that it gives us more space to eat on. We should wipe it off though before we eat on it. Okay, this is it. Table is in its spot. We got it all put together all the way, so it's all connected, and that's it. Gives us a lot more room, even with it being 18 inches shorter than it used to be. It's still pretty big,
but it's not too big. I was really afraid that it would be.
I think it's good.
Yeah, but now you realize taking that corner thing out, like we had some decorating to do. I'm looking at
That's true. You got all these blank walls.
my art collection and thinking about that.
Important stuff that
I'm not gonna get it figured out anytime soon, though. Who am I kidding?
Who are you kidding? Nobody, that's who. All right, I'm not sure when this video is gonna show up, in which video, because I don't even remember when we recorded last, but this is done. If you guys remember, probably, when was Peter's birthday? 4 months ago, Megan started taking the paint off this thing. And then life got crazy and we moved and did all sorts of other stuff. But now it's done. And it's beautiful.
Let me show you what it
So
looked like
we
before.
wanna like see the after here from the before. So she did a pretty good job. Pretty amazing.
Let me show you the before.
Were you gonna see the before? In case they don't want to go back and watch the video from Peter's birthday.
Oh yeah, well that's, yes.
Or was it Peter's birthday or Asher's?
Peter's.
Might have been Asher's.
Look at that.
That's what it was before.
Who knew that underneath that light blue was incredible, incredible woodwork. This is not stained, y'all. This is the natural color of this wood.
You just put some what did they
I
call
just
it? Feed
conditioned
and wax,
it
yeah.
and then sealed it. Isn't that beautiful?
Looks pretty amazing. And it's got the original poles on it. Put those back on.
Bakelite, amber bakelite, and then it's just cool. It's like these pieces of copper that they just bent.
Uh-huh.
Just like,
It's
cool,
pretty
huh?
neat. So there you go.
anyways, now I hate it when I have pieces like this in here because they make me nervous. We have to like,
We
I
need
don't know what
to
do with it.
throw a sheet over it and put it off. There's plenty of places to put things in here, Megan. I don't know what you're worried about. It's not messy. It's not cluttered. Totally clean and good. But also Megan did this one. This actually was the girls' dresser once upon a time. Also looked very different than it looks now.
I don't know if I have it before.
I don't think we ever took a
was
picture
like
of it because it was just...
$40. I didn't know much about furniture when I bought it, and it was just painted the exact same color, like a light blue, in that light blue phase. You
The
know,
light
Robin's
blue
Big Blue.
phase.
And then it had wood down here, and it was just boring.
Oh yeah, Megan had the idea of adding these little feet to the front. They're actually like structural feet. They're just more of a decoration, but they make it look cute.
And so then
Right?
when
Yeah,
we moved,
cute.
the girls got a better dresser, and but then by then I was like, oh, I should probably refinish it at least. And as I started stripping it and sanding it, I realized like this is an old dresser now that I know more about furniture. Like it was probably made in the 30s,
Yeah.
maybe the 40s, and so we went more modern with it.
It's got the cool lines on it.
Mike did the poles for me. These cool
Faux leather.
faux
Or what
vegan leather. It's
Vegan
like
leather, I
most
guess
leathers
that's
these
a
days,
cool
but,
thing to call it.
I stained and also stenciled.
Yeah, so it looks
I think it's super cute.
great. The shop organization continues. I don't know if you can tell, but that is a little bit more organized back there. You probably can't tell. I went through, I think I had reported a little bit of it. I kind of repacked a bunch of boxes. We have a bunch of boxes that were just like crushed and half unloaded because somebody needed something out of one box and left it open, and then it got smashed a little bit. So I went through, took the good boxes we had, more heavy duty boxes, repacked items, and made it so that we can at least stack stuff more and move stuff into that space so that I can work over here and start hopefully building the shelves that will hold a lot of these boxes. And one way that I'm going to do that, I think I already talked about it, but I've got a bunch of these 2x12s from the removal of the wall project. There was actually, I screwed up on a total of 6 2x12s. I didn't record it, but at the time I had to put 3 2x12s together for the spot over the dining room. That was what was going to carry the load for the roof. And twice I cut them the wrong length.
And you didn't mind at all.
And I didn't mind at all. Megan's back there commenting if you can't hear her. I was really stressed about it, and it was a real bummer because I nailed them all together and it was this huge thing, and then I kept cutting them too short. I kept on miscalculating how long the wall needed to be, and it probably seems like it should have been pretty obvious, but I'm new at this whole thing. So got a bunch of 2x12s. So what I've decided to do is to mill them down into 2x4s. So my plan is to use the table saw here, get them down to that size so I can use the 2x12s, or most of them, to make these shelves. And my plan is to have some kind of shelf rows. And then I'm hoping what I can do is make all of them all the same height and then do like some decking across the top of them to create almost like a little loft or attic area where I can put some big things like the mattresses back there and stuff, so they can lay up there and be out of the way. I don't want to use the attic up here. We've had people ask us about the attic. It's really not very accessible because it's super tall and it's also super messy up there and kind of gross. This is an old building, and I don't really want to heft a bunch of stuff up a ladder up to that attic. I'd have to put decking down up there. So I'd rather just build my own stuff down here and try to keep it all down here. So that's the plan. So right now it's time to break down these 2x12s into 2x4s. All right, I got 12 2x4s out of that. It's pretty sweet. That was kind of fun, actually. I decided to save one of the 2x12s for now, just in case I need it for another project. Well, I don't think I will, except I'm planning on putting some shelving in the laundry room, and we have some brackets that's actually made for 2x12s. We didn't use all of them in the kitchen, so figure I might as well hold on to that one, use that one for cut that down when I need to for the laundry room. Hey everybody, welcome to another day with the Knorps. I think this is gonna be its own vlog. I'm not sure, we might have already added this to another one, but these days it's hard to say where we're at on things because we're so busy. One thing that's happening is this kid has really grown a lot. He's a lot bigger than he used to be. Because of those. No. Hi, Eve. We're over here at the shop. There's been some kids in there hanging out. Asher, I'm going to turn this around. Asher has gotten himself walking on stilts. So when was it? Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, Asher, you decided, huh?
3 days ago.
3 days ago, Asher decided that he was going to
Tuesday? No, Wednesday.
perfect the art of walking on stilts without assistance. I actually made these, I think I made these for Peter, didn't I originally, or were these made for you?
I spent my birthday money on them and you helped make them.
So we made these.
These are really old though.
We made these about 6 months ago, we think, maybe longer.
About a year, actually.
Maybe, yeah, about a year ago. I found a little video online on how to make stilts, and those shoes are actually attached. But the Asher's been sort of on and off them, and then you wanted to figure out for a costume, you're going to be like what are you going to be for Halloween that would involve stilts? Dementor.
In the movies, they're not that tall, but in the books, they actually are.
Oh, okay.
They're like 12 feet, and I'm not 12 feet, but...
You're close. So
Close enough.
he took a few days here. He's basically been on these constantly. He's gotten pretty good at it. So next stop, the circus. You got a valuable skill there. Another thing that Megan and I have been working on the past few days is making a few changes to our business. So, man, my hair. I don't think we've talked about it on here yet as far as these changes, but we had the store, or the antique shop, or booth, I should say. And we've been over there in that mall for almost 6 months, which was kind of the original contract we had signed with the place. And have over this time decided that it would actually work better for us to do it more online and to move away from selling out of the shop, because Megan found that a lot of the stuff she was selling was actually things that she was advertising herself for, and that they weren't just people walking into the antiques mall. And you got to pay rent over there, and then you got to pay a percentage. So we thought, well, if we're the ones getting people to buy, then there's probably not a reason to be paying rent.
Well, I was doing double the work.
And it's double the work because you got to list it online, plus place it over in the shop and put the tags on it and all that kind of stuff. So we were like doing double work, and it wasn't really worth it because we didn't need it. So we decided to actually move out because our contract is up this month, and bring it all over here to the shop by the house, and then be able to just sell online. And we may have showed setting this up a little bit, but what we're doing is we brought most of this, I think everything is actually out of the shop now. We've just got a couple like shelving, like one shelving unit over there we got to move over, but it's a little bit messy right now, although this is actually less messy than it has been before. So what Megan's been working on a lot is setting up places where she can take pictures of items. So the idea is that Megan is we're gonna sell this stuff on Instagram, right? For the most part.
And then like we'll start there, and then if there's specialty items or just things that are a better fit for like Etsy or eBay or something, we'll go there.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, I was doing a lot of this already, but then I was people on Instagram would see it or on Facebook, and then I would send them to the shop. So like it was a lot of work.
And I think the reason people pay to be in the antiques mall is because they bring in people because of what they do, but we didn't necessarily need that. Today is actually going to be Megan's first sale on Instagram. And the way that we're going to do it is we'll do Instagram live, or stories, and show every item that we're selling. And then if somebody wants it, they email us their name and their zip code, and
their
then
email address and their zip code.
And then we send them an invoice on PayPal, and if they pay for it, they get it. We'll ship it off to them. We're gonna test that out. We might put some stuff on Etsy, or we might do that, but we're gonna try this way first. I've been working on organizing a little bit. I've made some progress. I still want to build shelving, but that's a little bit on the back burner because of time and also because of budget. Turns out even building your own shelves is expensive. Lumber is really expensive right now. Like 2x4s are twice the price what they used to be. And so to build everything I'd want to build, it's going to be a pretty good little investment. So I'm either going to have to do kind of one at a time and space it out, or wait until I can just do it all. So for now, I've just tried to put more stuff over there, or kind of push it back over there to give us more room for where Megan can paint, where we can have the stuff to sell, and then also where I have more room to work on woodworking type stuff. We're making progress. I feel like we're getting things more organized slowly but surely, and then hopefully we get this online selling going, and that will give us that'll get that business rolling and doing its thing. There have been some questions in the comments recently about our essential oil business, and I think people are wondering how everything balances out. So we still have our essential oil business. We are not actively building that business. We're letting that sort of stay where it's at. So it's not taking as much of our time as it used to. So you don't see us, or we don't talk about it as much because we're just not actively building that at this point in time. So what that's done, it's freed us up to work on these. What are you doing? So that gives us the time to focus on this sort of thing, which was something we've been wanting to do and really have been working on for a while. So the doTERRA business exists. However, we're not focusing on that very much at this point. This has been our main focus business-wise for us. It is nice because doTERRA continues to kind of operate, it gives us space to work on stuff like this. It still provides income for us, and to build other businesses that we hope will also provide income. And of course, we have YouTube, which through ad revenue provides income. So those are our three places where money kind of comes in, is doTERRA, YouTube, and this business as well. So in case you're wondering what's going on with that and how our income works, that's basically it. We don't have jobs per se. We've been self-employed for, how long has it been since I've gone into the office? 5,
right before the
6
girls
years?
came home. No.
2013.
Almost 8. No.
Was it 2012?
Yeah.
2012. Wow.
You're coming up. This is 8 years next
Yeah,
month.
I think it's 8 years next month that I quit the
You quit
JOB.
November or October.
It was October.
So it's 8 years this month.
8 years this month that we are self-employed. So that's why we don't I don't go into an office anywhere. Megan doesn't go into an office anywhere. We just kind of do our thing. And we decided kind of a long time ago that we would prefer to just be our own bosses and live with some more freedom. That means you also live with a little bit more risk in your life. But hey, I think 2020 taught us that life is risky in general. So why not do what you want to do and enjoy it? So that's kind of our motto. So yeah, this is just another business we're working on. We hope we can build it to something that's meaningful, and definitely it's enjoyable. So we're grateful to be doing it. We've also had questions about Elijah and Daniel and how they're doing. So they're both doing great. Elijah's still in Seattle doing the missionary work there, or I should say the Seattle area. He's nowhere close to Seattle in reality. He's out more in the country or the mountains of Washington State, Western Washington State. And Daniel is in Layton, Utah, also still doing missionary work. There hasn't been any real talk about going to Canada, where Daniel was originally assigned, or Japan, where Elijah originally went to and then came back due to the pandemic. They're both hopeful that eventually those borders will open up and things will calm down enough that they can go back. But for the moment, they're just doing their thing. And those, or I should say, doing those things stateside and having a good time. So they're pretty happy. This is our setup here for the photos. It's a little bit, this is temporary, but I think it's working. Okay, we're back over the house. We got a lot of those pictures taken. While we were gone, the kids have actually been putting up some Halloween decorations. Just a little bit. Another thing that's been happening is something Andrew's actually working on. Andrew has been putting together or starting a new business. So what's your business, Andrew?
I'm starting a ghost walk in Davidson.
So you're starting a ghost walk in Davidson, which is the town near here.
Yeah, and it's really historic and cool, so there's a lot of old stories I can go and gather, and I just thought it would be fun to do because I like storytelling and I like history, so it seemed cool, yeah. So
And there used to be a ghost walk that someone else did a couple years ago.
But they closed it down, so I'm
She actually moved away. I don't think she even lives here anymore.
I've taken up the baton. Is that what it is?
The mantle or something.
Yeah, and now I'm going on to the ghost walk in town.
So Andrew has gathered stories from locals, from people. He's actually interviewed, quite a few people, right, around town.
Oh yeah.
And then also he's read a bunch of history of Davidson, and then he took Megan and I. We did sort of a little bit of a dry run. We walked through the route with him the other night. Told us kind of what stories he had, and we worked on kind of tweaking the route and that sort of thing, so we thought it would work well. And now tonight he's actually doing a full version, right? With
A soft open with some friends and stuff.
basically with friends. Not even it's more like a family and friends night because you're not charging them, right? So it's going to be a free night for his friends, and well, it's always free for Andrew. He doesn't have to pay.
Turns out.
But what's great about it is it's a legit business he started. So he got himself an LLC in North Carolina, and has kind of worked out everything that goes along with starting a business, which is pretty cool. So he's hoping this will be a weekly
Yeah,
thing?
I'll do it Thursdays and Saturday nights. At 7. So I'm just gonna keep going. I'm planning to go till New Year's, and if I still like it, I'm really enjoying it. It's going well. I'll keep going, but if it's not, I'll be the end of the project. But yeah.
Okay. So see how it goes. So when are you actually starting actual walks?
I'm starting the 8th and the 10th. The 8th being Thursday.
Thursday, October 8th.
October 8th. Yep.
Hopefully we get
Halloween.
I'm not sure if we'll get this posted before then, but let's hope.
If I do, or either way, we can put a link to my website in the description, right?
Yeah, what is it actually called?
Ghostsofdavidson.com, or you can follow it on Instagram at Ghosts of Davidson. And so, yeah.
Oh, so you have an Instagram page called Ghosts of Davidson.
Yeah.
Or whatever they call it.
And I'm pretty excited right now. I'm trying to memorize my lines, and that's not stressful at all or anything.
Well, luckily you got friends tonight. Andrew's worked out a whole you have a costume kind of thing, or not really?
It's like a half costume. It's just I dress up a bit more, so I look maybe like I'm possibly from older ages. I'm gonna wear my normal overdressed self, but like with a top hat and maybe just a little more overdressed than normal. And then I have like this lantern that looks cool.
Like it's a real kerosene lantern.
Yeah, so it adds like a flickeriness to it. So yeah.
Excuse me. Okay, so check it out at Ghost of Davidson. And that should be fun. So we got all sorts of businesses started. You can see Megan has put up some art here in the house. Starting to look more like a house.
I'm sorry.
You've thrown it up? Is that what you just said?
No, I just was so tired of tripping over it. I was afraid I was going to start ruining it. And I decided just to not overthink it and just get it on the walls.
Yeah. Let's see what else.
All the children came out and were like, Mom, it looks so good.
No,
It's
they
not true,
didn't.
not one person mentioned it.
Okay, it's the next day.
Next, this
Took us
brass
longer to get all the
bowl.
pictures of the items up than we thought, so
I adore this.
decided to do the sale the following day. So Megan is actually in the middle of it right now. I'll show you guys what she's doing.
Rock garden. Few brass items. Most of my brass is going to be in the next sale, but I do have this little brass urn from India. Love it. These etched bowls. This is, would be a great like coin drop or earring drop on your nightstand. Same with this. They have kind of a matching pattern. They could be.
So that's a little behind the scenes view of what we're up to. So that's the plan, is to, I think once a week, do a sale on Instagram of the different things that we have available. So if you want to check that out, you can go to over at Indoorsy Store, search that on Instagram. That's where Megan's going to be doing all that. We don't have a website, I think, set up yet that we can sell from, but we may do that as well. So just check it out. Also happening today, we sold this piece to someone actually in town, so we're delivering it to him, my moving help. And yeah, so we'll say goodbye to this piece. It's nighttime now, as you can see, and Megan went through and did as many of the items as she could. We didn't get through everything. On her Instagram, the Indoorsy stories, that's how she's selling the stuff. Megan had to go to actually a church meeting. It's a virtual meeting, it's online, but she's doing that. I'm here at the computer with this, you can see I've got the scales over there. Well, maybe you can't see it, but I'm basically now sending out invoices and kind of weighing and measuring everything to estimate shipping costs. The way we're doing it is she does the story, people will send her a message from the story. She has a way to click on it to basically send an email address and a zip code. And with that, we can estimate shipping and then send an invoice to that person. And as soon as they pay, well, then that gives them the chance to pay. They have 24 hours. If they decide they don't want it, they don't pay, then it goes to the next person in line that was wanting to get the item. And she's pretty much sold everything that she put on the Instagram today, and so it's quite a bit of stuff. Everything over here plus some other things. Anyway, so working on that. This is our first time through, but it's exciting to have this new part of the business that we're working on.
All right, you guys, just finished looking over that video, and I think it was like 4 or 5 days, and I'm sorry we are not posting as much. We are just so busy with not just the house, but the kids starting businesses and, just having 9 kids. There's always so much to do. And then we have the, businesses we're changing or ending or starting to, and so we need to be better. We've kind of gotten out of the habit of vlogging it all, but we would still like to share all of that with you. Also watching the video, editing it, it looks like I'm mad in the background a lot of the time, but that's just my thinking face. Especially when we're doing the table, I'm just thinking okay, how are we going to cut it? But totally glad we did that. That's been great. So Andrew, the ghost walk is going well, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So happy to have you guys along. Hopefully you're having new ventures or making the old ones work better for you. 2020 has been a hard year, but I think it's also been a really good year in that it's given us all the chance to take stock of our lives and the way that we see things and maybe do better and transform some things so that they work better and, serve us better as individuals and as communities. But anyways, I hope you're having a great day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And you can follow us on Instagram. We do post in stories, and I think that's it. All right. Hope you're having a good autumn or spring, wherever you're at. Talk to you later. Bye.